Well, welcome back, friends. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a short video. I want to introduce you to somebody new in the household. Okay, first off, let's look at Pocket Rocket 2. I'll bring it up so you guys remember us. Okay. Took that on my trip. That was my sole means of cooking for the first 4 days in camp and when I made coffee en route. Okay? Turned out well. Didn't disappoint me one bit. Okay, next one we'll introduce you to. Remember my lodge? I sanded it down, and I don't know how many times I redid my efforts to get it to turn out well. And yeah, good heavy cast iron frying pan, 10 and a quarter inches. Well, 3 years ago when I went down south, the cook set that I had in the camper was basically an inexpensive stainless steel, 2 pots that were nested, and a lid that was a frying pan. And I said, no, I'm not going to start. And that year was, I'm going to say, 40-50 days I was down there. So I went shopping. Now, as it happens, I'd gotten this lid. You've seen them before. They're on all kinds of saucepans, fry pans, whatever. I retained that. Not going to get it. I'm just, matter of fact, nah, it doesn't fit the cast iron too well. Okay. The frying pan that I bought down there, and there goes Pocket Rocket on the floor because I'm careless. Okay. Here it is. Got to back up a little bit so you can see it, right? Look at that grip. It slides in and out. Okay, now I would call it, I think they call it a skillet. Okay? It's black iron with the big rivets you can see to hold the handle on. Okay? This thing I've been using up until this year on a Coleman 2-burner stove. A butane one. Anyway, I said, this is going to be interesting. I want some pancakes. Pancakes. Now, when you look at this monster, and this little guy, doesn't make sense at all, does it? However, as you can see, you can put it on there. Okay, now that small burner, and I gotta admit, the burner is small compared to my, oh goodness. Anyway, it's my favorite canister stove where the canister sits on top. And it was my favorite because it has a burner almost twice as big. Anyway, this one, well, how did it turn out? I think it turned out mighty fantastic. And now there I just realized that I can actually reverse the handle and it doesn't work. Okay, so the handle comes right off. This is a lodge. That lid, remember it? Yes. And I'm going to, of course, be klutzy. Not a perfect fit, but it'll work. And so, out of the California desert, I bring you my frying pan. Now, I've been using it here at home exclusively, and a little touch of spray olive oil, eggs cook perfectly. Slide off it. Pancakes, same way. So, here we have it. This is now going to be part of my trailer camping gear. Obviously, you're not going to hike with this thing. I don't have a weight to guess for you on that. But anyway, it is too heavy to carry in a rucksack for me. Just like this monster is too heavy. And by the way, this thing is about 1/3 or more the weight of the steel. That cast iron is at least of 1/8 of an inch thick on the sides, and I expect the bottom to be thicker. So there you go. Something new for my camping, trailer camping, car camping, whatever. Anyway, how did the pocket rocket do? Well, I did pancakes. You know, the kind you put a cup of water in with, or 3/4 of a cup with a cup of flour, or a mix, or you know, whatever it is. I was concerned that I might just make a charcoal smoldering mess. Not so. The pocket rocket too will simmer down low enough to keep it cooking just right. I made 3 pancakes in one day. I thought I was making enough mix for 2. All 3, there was some parts were a little darker than other parts. They came out well. And without a doubt, we're going to be putting that frying pan to a lot of use, especially if it's going to be car camping near the house. That kind of stuff, there's no sense of taking that lightweight when I've got with the ceramic coating. So there we go. The Pocket Rocket 2 continues, gets my respect. And it's going to keep right on doing that. The days ahead, I don't envision buying another stove. I guess if one came my way, I'd consider it. Remember, I had my Peak 1 Coleman, and it was a phenomenal stove. But I gave it away to my son and his wife, and they used it as a backup, and it was a good thing they had it, because her old 2-burner Coleman naphtha gas stove quit on a camp out. They just grabbed a little one. Instead of having 3 burners, they had one that kept right on going. So let's look forward to the coming year, having lots more activity. It's going to be harder to pick which stove I'm going to use, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I gotta admit, with the desert winds, it was a wise choice to pick the Pocket Rocket with the baffles on it, to cut down on the wind blowing it out. It blew the heat away, but not seriously, and it never put it out. So there you go. MSR, you're good for me. I have a MSR stove, a tent, fuel, stove, and I got a lot of other products too. Anyway, so this is going to be the start of what comes out this spring, what we're going to get involved with. And yeah, when I'm using the frying pan, I'll use a different stove than the Pocket Rocket. It's kind of teeny, but I had to try it, and it works. Take care, everybody, and if you would, please like, share, and subscribe. As always, Ted's Clear.